The Navy admiral, who controversially directed multiple strikes against a boat full of suspected drug runners back in September, told lawmakers that after the initial strike, he believed the survivors were attempting to finish their mission, and so he ordered follow-up strikes to finish his mission. Admiral Frank Bradley spoke in a closed-door meeting with members of Congress Thursday. The meeting came amidst criticism that the double strike was inhumane and could constitute a war crime. Since the meeting wasn't public, we don't have all of the details, but Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton shared some of what went on, revealing that Bradley shared a video of the incident. Cotton says that he saw two survivors try to flip the boat over, quote, so they could stay in the fight. He also said they were told other narco-terrorists were in the area coming to the aid of the blasted boat. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth gave the initial order to destroy the boat, and according to the Wall Street Journal, Hegseth stopped watching surveillance video after the first strike. The survivors were discovered about an hour later, and so Bradley was the one left to decide if the survivors were, quote, out of the fight or not. Given the other narco traffic in the area, he deemed that they were indeed still in the fight, and so he ordered the additional hits. There's a rift growing at the FBI over how to proceed with the, quote, Seditious Six. Those are the 6 Democratic members of Congress who posted that video telling military service members to disobey illegal orders. FBI headquarters wants the D.C. field office to open a formal seditious conspiracy investigation. Remember, sedition is a crime punishable by death. So in this case, the death of senators and U.S. representatives. But leaders inside of the D.C. field office are telling the brass to slow their roll, claiming there is a, quote, lack of legal and factual basis to initiate a criminal case. Now, the FBI and the Justice Department have asked to interview the 6 lawmakers, all of whom were either in the military or part of the intelligence community before being elected. And I told you last week how the Pentagon promised to look into one of those legislators in particular, Mark Kelly, who, as a retired naval commander, is still subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So which side of the FBI will win? Well, Bloomberg Law, who first reported this story, says no decision has been made just yet, and the Post got no response from both the FBI HQ and the DC field office as of Thursday night. A University of Oklahoma student's failing Bible-based essay on gender norms created an absolute firestorm on campus. The assignment sparked a discrimination complaint, resulting in the suspension of the transgender grad student and instructor and a win for the college junior. Samantha Fulnecki's professor, Mel Kurth, assigned the essay and then flunked Fulnecki because she wrote that, quote, belief in multiple genders was demonic. The student filed a complaint with the school, which just ruled that the failing grade will not have any impact on her overall course grade. Kurth, who uses she, they pronouns, had asked the class to write a 650-word response to an academic article that dealt with gender norms, popularity, and bullying. Fulnecki wrote that she was frustrated with the premise of the study because, based on her understanding of the Bible, she does not believe that there are more than 2 genders. Now, she initially received a 0 on the paper, which would have been 3% of the final grade in the class. Now, Kurth was put on administrative leave while the school investigated and will remain on leave until the end of the semester. For more on these stories and everything else you could possibly want to know, check out the New York Post in print or online. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the New York POSTcast wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. I promise you'll be glad you did.